Welcome to Java Programming from Codebay. In this video, we'll be discussing about anatomy of Java and identifiers. Anatomy of Java include comments, reset words, statements, blocks, and classes. Coming to the comments. Java supports three kinds of comments: single line comments, multi-line comments, and documentation comments. Whenever compiler says the single line comments, which are denoted in two slashes, whenever compiler sees single line comments, it will skip or ignore all the text that is available after this comments in a single line. Whatever the text that you write after these comments in a single line or in the same line, those statements will be ignored or will not be compiled by the compiler. Multi-line comments. Multi-line comments are denoted whenever compiler finds this sign with a slash and asterisk, compiler will search for the closing one with an asterisk and slash. It will ignore all the text that is written between these two signs, and compiler will not compile the text which is written in between them. Comments are used to provide the description to the code, that is the description or the explanation to the code. In other words, it is the representation of the logic in the simple English. And comments are used to increase the readability of the code. And the last set of comments are the documentation comments. Documentation comments are represented with slash to asterisk sign, and this can be used as a multi-line also, and the asterisk with a slash. This set of comments are used to create an HTML page with the description of your file or the program. So whenever you want to create an HTML page with the description or the explanation of your code or the program, we use the documentation comments. So the first two comments, they are not creating the HTML page. We can write the text in the .java file, but whereas the documentation command, they create the HTML file, and this comments will be executed with the help of a tool called Java doc. That is the command or the tool that we run on command prompt. Now let's look the execution of all these three comments. This is the basic Java program. So the first part, you can see this, which is written with a slash and the asterisk. So this part represents your documentation comments. So this is a multi-line comment which is used to represent here. And this is also your documentation comment. I'm just removing this. I just wanted to make it a single documentation comment. This is a single line comment where this method used to print the hello world. This is a single line comment. Let's look this, as we have already discussed that the single line comments or the multi-line comments will not be added to the HTML page. The description that is written in the single line comments or multi-line comments will not be added to the description page of the HTML. But whereas the document comments, whatever we write in the documentation comments, this kind of description will be included in our HTML page. So this is the beginning of my documentation comment, and this is the closing of my comment. In every line, it's not mandatory for you to put the asterisk, but just to understand for the better readability. trying to compile the code. As my file is present in D drive, I'm just moving to D drive, and it is present in a folder called YouTube. And in the YouTube, it is present in another folder called session program. So CDs, I'm just helping it. This command is used to change the directory. And in this, I have my file called first program. So I'm just compiling this file. My program file is successfully compiled. Now, if you can see here, there are no other files that are created. There are no HTML files created. There is only .class file, which is created when the file is successfully compiled. Now, I wanted to create the documentation of the HTML page for my program. So for that, you want to run the Javadoc tool. So the syntax for running the Javadoc tool is Javadoc followed by the Javadoc followed by the file name. My file name is firstprogram.java. .java. Now you can see it's building some tools and generating the package summary.html, package tree.html, overview tree of these are the different HTML files that are created. If you can see here, these are the different HTML files that are created when you run the Javadoc tool. And I'm opening my index.html page. If you can see here, you can observe the description that is written here. So this is the first program to check Javadoc. So this is written in documentation comments. And even this is public static void main. This is a public static method. Even this is written in documentation comments. So this is how the description of your class or method, whatever the description that you want to add about your program can be written in the documentation comments. And even this documentation comments can be written in multi-line. But whereas the multi-line comments or the single line comments that are denoted by slash or slash, what are the description that you write here, this description will not be added to the HTML page. If you want to add any description to the HTML page, that should be, and that text should be enclosed in the documentation comments only. So this is called Javadoc. This can be created for the user defined classes also. I hope you're clear with the single line comments, multi-line comments, and documentation comments. Next, coming to the statements, anything that is terminated with a semicolon is called a statement. So a variable declaration, assignment statement, or method call, all these things are included into the statement call. So when we say we are executing the program, we are executing the set of statements. Variable declaration, int a, I terminated the semicolon. So this is a statement. Function call, void sum is a function definition, and calling of the function is sum. So this is a statement. And assignment, if I write int a is equal to 55, this is a statement. Or if I write a is equal to 55 plus a, this is a statement. So any assignment statement or function call or variable declaration, all these things are also considered as a statement. Your println, how do I write println? System.out.println, and so this is a statement. Any function call, variable declaration, or the assignment, all these are considered as your statements. Blocks, set of braces in a program are called a blocks. So which kind of braces? A set of braces this is the opening brace and the closing brace. So the pair of these two braces are considered as a block. So it might be a class block. If I write class A, then this becomes my class block. When I'm writing public static void main, and this becomes your method block. So the pair of braces or curly braces forms a block. Result words. Result words are the keywords in Java programming language where every keyword has a unique functionality. All the keywords are the result words. Every keyword has a specific meaning to the compiler of the Java programming language. All the keywords are written in lowercase only. All the names of the keywords contains only characters. They do not include any other symbols. And these keywords cannot be used as any user defined names or identifiers. So I cannot write I cannot write int float as float is a keyword. So these keywords cannot be used as an user identified names. So these are some of the keywords which are available in Java programming language. If you can see, there is a keyword with const, and there is also a keyword called goto. And these two are the keywords of Java programming language, but they are called as unused keywords. You cannot use them. They are called as unused keywords. The programmers are not supposed to use these keywords. Goto and constant, they are also called as unused and keywords. Unused result words or unused keywords. If you can see, if is a keyword which has a specific purpose as part of conditional statement. Int, it is a specific keyword which is used to define an int primitive value. Float, again, this is a unique keyword which is used to define a floating point variable. So in this way, every keyword has a unique purpose, and all these keywords are written in lowercase only. None of the keyword is in uppercase. So static is just a typing error. Even this is lowercase only. So all the keywords are given in lowercase only, and all the keyword names, if you clearly observe, all the names include only characters. They do not include any other special symbols. So these are just the classification of the keywords. Keywords can be classified into different things like access modifier keywords, flow control keywords, error handling keywords, primitive keywords, user defined, class, method, or variable keywords, unused reserved keywords. In this way, keywords can also be classified into different ways. We'll understand the functionality of each keyword while we are learning each concept. So public, private, protected, these are called your access modifier keywords, whereas int, byte, short, float, double, char, they are your primitive type keywords. As we already discussed, constant and goto, they are called as unused result words. So every keyword has a unique functionality with respect to the Java compiler. I hope now we are very much clear with what are the different types of comments does Java support, what are keywords, what is the functionality of the keywords, and how many different types of keywords are there. Now let's understand about identifiers. Identifiers are the names given to the variables, methods, or the classes. So when I write int A is a variable name. So this becomes your identifier. When I write class A becomes your class name. So this becomes your identifier. When I write void sum is the name of the method. So this becomes our identifier. So name of a variable or a class or a method can be considered as the identifiers. And when we are naming these classes or the variables or the identifiers, they have certain rules to be followed. All the identifiers, they may start with an underscore. All the identifiers can start with an $sign or any Unicode character. Any Unicode character, in the sense it can start with any character with an lowercase or uppercase, or it can also be something, there are certain characters which, and even these kind of characters can also be supported. So any character that can start, all the identifier names can start with any of this. They cannot start with any other symbol, or they cannot start with any other number. Next, the second character of an identifier can be a number. That means I can write something like this: A1. My second character can be a number. That means except the first character, any other character can be the number. Except the first character, any other character can be any dollar sign, or it can be underscore. So we don't have any restrictions for the second character. So second character can be a number. And the third one, no keywords can be used as identifiers. We cannot use any keywords as the identifiers. We don't have any restriction on the length of the names of the identifiers. These are some of the points that we need to remember when we're working upon identifiers. The first one, all the names given to the variables, class, or method are called as identifiers. As we have already discussed, identifiers can start with a Unicode letter, underscore, or the dollar sign. A character other than the first character in an identifier may be a letter. That means except the first character, the rest, any characters can be a letter, a dollar sign, a underscore, or a digit. So these becomes your valid identifiers. So it's starting with int identifier. It's starting with a character, so it's valid. Int string username, it's starting with a character, so it's valid. Character system, it's starting with underscore. So this is starting with an underscore. We can start the identifiers with underscore, so it's valid. We can start it with dollar sign, so even it's valid. We cannot start with a number, so it's one invalid. We cannot start with any other special symbol, so these two are also invalid. So when we are giving the names to the variables, classes, or methods, we should be specific with these two rules. All are case sensitive and no maximum length. That means we don't have any restriction on the length of the variable name or the method name. So we don't, as we have in C programming language with the length of the names, but whereas in Java, we don't have any restriction on the length. So we can give with any of the length. And all the identifiers are case sensitive. That means int A and int A, these two are considered as two different variable names. All the variable names or all the identifiers are considered as the case sensitive. We already discussed this point. Keywords cannot be used as an identifiers. So let's look into this. Two questions. One is on keywords and next one is on identifiers. We need to identify which are the valid keywords and which are the valid identifiers or the names of the variables. So just look into the question and just check which is the valid option. Now, coming to the first, int. It's starting with an uppercase, so it's not a valid keyword. Float is a keyword, but yes, it is also starting with an uppercase, so this is also not a valid keyword. Short, it's a valid keyword. Volatile, it's a valid keyword. Transient, we have a keyword called transient, but as this is starting with an uppercase, so even this is not a valid keyword. Asset is a keyword. So short, volatile, and asset, this is the correct answer with respect to the keywords. Coming to the next question, which of the following are the valid identifier names? All the identifier names can start with a character, so this is valid, and next any other character can be a number, so this is valid. Identifiers should not start with a number, so this is invalid. Identifiers can have underscore at any character, so this is valid. All the identifier names can start with a dollar sign, valid. They can start with underscore, valid. And case is a keyword. We have already discussed that identifier names cannot be keywords. We cannot use keywords as identifiers. Invalid. We cannot start any identifier with any other symbol except underscore and dollar. Only these two symbols are used in order to start the variable name or the identifier. So this is invalid. Character character is not a keyword just because it's starting with an uppercase. This is not considered as a keyword. As we already discussed, all the identifiers are case sensitive. So this is valid. So which are the valid statements? 1 is valid, 3 is valid, 4 is valid, 5 is valid, and 8 is valid. 1, 3, 4, 5. So this becomes your correct answer. Hope this keywords and identifiers are clear. So in the next video, we'll be discussing about variables and data types. Thank you for watching our video.